Hi, everyone. I'm Coco Blake. Welcome back to the Bratty podcast. I'm here with one of my girly pops. This is my best friend, Zelda. She also has a clothing brand with me, so I thought it'd be exciting. Let's get into it.
Hey guys, I'm Zelda. What are we going to talk about?
So, both of us have clothing brands, and I thought it'd be exciting to bring her in because she has a brand that she's built without using her face and I guess her platform as much. She's built it more organically than I have. And I feel like that makes a really big difference on pretty much all avenues of how you run your brand. So we're going to talk about what it's been like, how it's starting, and just all the effects of it. So yeah, I'm going to be looking at my phone for questions because people roasted me last time. And I'm smart, but I can't keep all of this knowledge in my noggin. So, first off, what made you start your brand?
Okay, so honestly, at the time I was doing eyelash extensions, which was, yeah, I know.
I didn't know that.
This was like, yeah, because I met you, I already had my brand.
How old were you?
This was like 5 years ago. So like... okay, never mind. So I was doing
age.
No, I don't. So 5 years ago I was like doing eyelash extensions. I wanted to go to esthetician school and just do facials and all that, and it was kind of, my back started hurting and stuff, whatever, and I started getting into fashion more. I was like looking at fabric stores in downtown LA because I had just moved there and I wanted to make myself a pair of pants. This is when stacked pants was like really, really in. So I was like, let me make some cute, I remember the stacked pants that you shot in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, fun fact.
So
the way
cringy.
that I met her, I think in 2018. I was 18 and I had just, I probably lived in LA for like a year, and I met her because I shot some of her brand for her. I wish we could find those photos.
I have them.
Oh, okay. I'm going to insert them because they're a crazy
Shaved head
difference.
Coco.
Oh, yeah. Back in the day when I was bald, but continue.
So anyway, so I just made a pair of pants for myself and I wasn't thinking too much about it. I really liked the fabric. I was like, needs to make the booty look good because stacked pants was mostly men's at the time. And I made it and I posted it and a lot of people liked it. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to make a lot of them, just do a crazy website last minute, logo last minute. And it did really, really well. So I was like, I guess I'm just going to do this. And that's how I started it.
Cute.
Yeah.
The way that I started mine, I've had mine on and off for about 3 to 4 years. I kind of do rebrands every now and then. I get super bored easily. And I don't know, I feel like life's just about being able to start new brands. I don't recommend that, honestly, but I can't control myself. And if you find something that works, definitely stick to it. But I had one of my close friends pass away. Do I want to say his name? No. I had one of my close friends pass away, and the last thing I ended up texting him was, I wish I could hug you. And that's the reason that I started the Hug Your Homie hoodies, because you just never know how long you have with someone. And after that, it was just something that was super important to me, and it transferred over into a hoodie that a lot of people ended up liking. And this was probably like 2021. And because I was an influencer, or still am, whatever, I got a lot of momentum behind it because other people liked it. I don't think I ever shared the story, but people liked me enough to be able to buy what I was selling. And then that kind of started it. I recently stopped selling them because I think that I've grown as a person, and as much as I love the hoodie, it just doesn't have meaning to me anymore. And I think when you have a brand, if you make things that don't creatively stimulate you, then you enjoy having a brand less and less. So I'm taking a break from having a brand right now, actually, because I just do not enjoy it in the moment, and I don't want to make things I just don't like. So
Facts.
Yeah, it makes a really big difference, and there's a lot of pressure that comes in having a clothing brand. So yeah, I'm taking a step away from it. Maybe do like a no face brand, but if I do, nobody will know what it is. So I'm just gonna promote it like the rest of it. What are important things that you think people should know or learn before starting a brand?
Well, I kind of learned as I went. Sometimes I feel like I look at other people that did go to fashion school and wish that I had learned it the proper way. I just feel like it helps you be a little bit more organized, but what I learned and what? I forgot the question.
I'm gonna like piggyback off what you said. I don't think that you need any prior experience to open a brand. I think the hardest thing is just starting to do it.
Yeah.
I also think there's a really big misconception about how much money you need.
Yeah.
Both of us started with different price points. She said she started with like a couple $1,000s. And once again, this makes a difference of platforms. I literally made maybe like a $30 sample. And I just got the hoodie, I dyed it, and I printed on it. And I sold it. And that kind of started my brand. So it does vary where you are, but I feel like both price points can be done. I don't think you really need a huge budget.
Yeah, there's a misconception that you need 10,000, 20,000 to start it, but
in reality, you need like Shopify, whatever you use, and they normally always have a deal where you get like 3 months for like $1 or whatever. Then you need a sample. The sample you can get no matter where you live. I always think it's best to start with a hoodie or a sweat, something that's easily printed as like your first piece, because it can be like print to made. It's cheap, the blank's done, and you can really figure out the dynamics of that.
Yeah.
And then your logo, all that stuff you can do on your phone, Canva, all those kind of fun apps. I don't think it's really that hard. And then just make content. TikTok is the best. TikTok, Instagram, social media is literally the best way to make money. And the easiest way, because it can just be you in your house styling it, you and your friends doing it. I think the hardest part is just doing it and also not caring what people think. Do you feel like people give you like a negative stigma or make you feel a certain way about having a brand as a female owner or just having a brand?
I feel like people try to downplay my brand and call it a bikini brand because I do drop bikinis often, and I do other things other than have my clothing brand, which I feel like takes time away. So I feel like men especially will be like, oh yeah, your bikini brand, but they know that I've dropped other stuff in the past. So I'm like, are you trying to belittle me?
I think that men do the same thing to me. I think actually a lot of people do it because I'm an influencer. It gets labeled as merch.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a pet peeve for me because I like to say like I'm just creative.
It's almost disrespectful.
Yeah, I love having a platform. I think it's really cool. And I think I would have a brand whether I had a platform or not. And the fact that it gets labeled as merch no matter what it is, even if it has nothing tied to me, irks me. And I know people buy it to support me, but I think it's still a brand by itself. It's not really merch. Men belittling me is insane. Fuck all of you. Sorry, no shame. Yeah, I think when I talk to a man about a brand, having one, they just don't view me on the same level as they do other men.
Depends on the man, honestly. I've had some men hype me up.
Yeah, I think so too, but in a, like, you know, it depends. But most of the time it's like oh, your little brands. I feel like you should always talk to somebody professionally, and the way that men feel like they know more and talk down to like women, this dude would never talk to another man that way. I am a very reactive person occasionally. Yeah. And if you're rude to me, I'm rude back. And now I've been able to separate myself because of that. This was short. I was paying him every month to get hoodies, and then he decided he didn't want to release me hoodies because it was convenient for him. But then he was like, oh, it's the first of the month, you owe me another $3,000. And I was like, well, sweetheart, you actually broke the contract.
Is like miscommunication in the beginning can really fuck up things in the end. I feel like you need to make everything clear, pricing, dates, because manufacturers will drag that shit on. Like they'll say that you're getting your sample in a week. They'll be like, oh yeah, next day, then it's the weekend, then you're waiting till Monday. Like everything needs to be super clear in the beginning, or like shit will just take months and months and months.
Yeah, I think this will lead into another one. Like, I think clarification, communication is really important with these people. A lot of times people do this out of the state, out of the country. And that's also hard because there's a language barrier. Even in LA, nobody is your friend. I hate to say that. In the business world, nobody's your friend. Like, if they were your friend before business, great. But people say don't work with your friends for a reason. But yeah, everybody wants your money. Yeah, wants your money. They're gonna benefit from you. They're gonna put themselves before they put you, which is really important because you'll think you build a good relationship with someone and they will be so quick to turn around and screw you over. So just pay attention to those things. Keep receipts of things. Keep messages of things, like screenshots. Everything most of the time can work in your favor.
Also, at the end of the day, I feel like don't get yourself too down about, you know, not finding the perfect manufacturer, because you will go through so many. Like, they are replaceable. They, you know, you live and you learn, I feel like. And
I think that's like the biggest thing, people with a brand too.
They'd be like, you know, maybe something gets messed up and then you just feel so down about like, oh my gosh, I can't work with this person. Trust me, there's always another person that can do it. They could do it better. You're going to
also, there's so much you don't see. All of your favorite brands have had probably brands before that have failed and rebranded. Like American Apparel went to shit and became LA Apparel, and now everybody uses them for blanks. Like, there are so many companies. You guys just don't see it, and most people don't share it. But every brand fails and has multiple brands. There are very few people that have had like brands successful from the start, because the things that go into having a clothing brand, nobody teaches you. Like, you can take a course, I don't care. You can even, but you do not know it until you're going through it. And that's even for me where I struggle, because I'm learning so much and nobody's helped me do this. And sometimes you don't even want to ask for help because you feel like you should know how you're doing it, and it's just unfair. And like, you have to be able to give yourself grace. I struggle with this because I've run into this issue with this manufacturer over and over again. And for me, I'm like, well, maybe I should just give up. But instead, I'm like, I'm going to take a break and try to do it a better route and use this to learn, because it's important. And it's something I actually do want to do. Yeah. But, you know, you can't beat yourself up for learning. You're human and everybody's going through it, but most people do not share it. Now I'm going to read questions. And I'll say some of these people's names because I feel like that's cute and people like when people say it. Okay, Cassie, I don't know how you say her name, Wilsack, said, what's the hardest part about owning a business?
For me, I would say just staying focused and staying, what's the word?
Consistent?
Yeah, consistent. You know, like, I feel like in LA you have to do, you know, a lot of things to keep up with your lifestyle or whatever it may be. So I feel like just if you're able to just focus on your brand and nothing else, it really, really helps.
I do think consistency is really important. I also think that living in LA makes a difference. I think being consistent somewhere else in a smaller town where you're not around everyone else doing what you're doing is much easier because it's more exciting. I feel like here, everybody's doing what you're doing and some people are better at it. Yeah. And like shoving it in your face. So sometimes it's harder. I also struggle with being consistent because there's so much stimulation.
Like, there's so much around, and it's like you're out doing other things when you should be like, you know, thinking of new ideas, thinking about your shoots, videos, going to look at fabric and stuff. It's very easy to get distracted in LA. But I don't know how I'd feel about living in another state. I feel like LA in a way does keep me like inspired with like the people I meet and stuff like that. So
I think
I don't know if both sides it's hard.
Yeah.
It's like,
because when I moved out of LA, I definitely didn't want to do it. But then when I'm here, I'm like super overstimulated. I think the hardest part for me has been keeping up with all the things I do as like one person running a brand. Yeah. And the communication with customers and like customer service has been hard for me because once again, I'm like a really reactive person. And when other people are upset,
cussing out your customers in the email.
When people are upset, I'm upset with them because I want things to go smoothly for them. Yeah. And it's so hard to explain to people what's actually going on behind the scenes because I can say to you there's a delay, but you don't actually understand like what's going on with the delay and how frustrating it is. Yeah. And I've been working on, you know, trying to handle all that better. I think the hardest thing for me, especially too, is just like not wanting to quit. Like not getting overwhelmed and knowing that like, there are people that hate me, hate my brand. And knowing that just because someone hates me, someone else loves me and buys everything from my brand is an understanding. Facts. Just finding the silver lining of that, even when it feels like everything else is like falling down.
Yeah, you really have to hold on to like,
the
those
good things.
Supporters, those fans that have been there since the beginning that like, because they do care.
Yeah.
There are people that care. It's just really hard to,
I
don't know. I feel like we're the same way though. Like, and other people I know they can relate. You make something and by the time it comes out, you like almost low-key hate it.
No, for sure.
And then you're like, I don't want to put this out.
And then other people want it and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't. Okay, next one. I do not know how to say your name, so I'm so sorry. It says best place to find suppliers, manufacturers. Okay, so I think I'm going to answer this from like the not being an LA point of view and you can answer it from the LA point of view.
Okay.
Go for it.
Oh, I know there's a website. I don't know what it's called. Do you know?
No, just...
Oh, no? Okay. I know there's a website that you can find people. I really just had to ask around. And there are so many places in downtown. Like,
if you live in LA, go to the fashion district downtown. You could ask almost anyone. Yeah. And they'll help you. But I will tell you, people do gatekeep. For sure.
They do.
And as much as I hate gatekeeping a manufacturer for the most part is for a reason, because if everybody could get our manufacturer, then everyone would be doing what we do. Yeah. So like there are points of view when people ask me this, I always say, if you don't live in LA, go to Alibaba.
Yeah.
Alibaba is an app on your phone and you can go in, find something you like from another brand, come up with the logo, send it in, get it made.
Facts.
I think that's a really good place to start. And you can even like go to stores that you like, clothes that you like, take photos of the clothes, feel the clothes,
references.
Look at the tags, right? If you want to have a brand, everything around us is like someone else's brand. So pay attention to the details. I think that's a really good place to start. So if you live in LA, downtown is great. Go to printing shops, go to fabric places. Most of the time, those fabric places work with people. There are some really good ones. Honestly, I might just give you guys a list of really good printing shops in LA, fabric stores, stuff like that. So you have the resources if you're there. But yeah, I think that's a really good way to start from both ends. Let's see. Someone said best place to find manufacturers that Alibaba. LA,
yeah. That's someone one thing I really do like about LA.
Yeah, I agree. What is a good marketing tactic?
Ooh, so you
go. Influencers, as much as I hate to say it, I think gifting influencers is a really good tactic to do, but I think find good influencers that fit your genre and make them sign a fucking contract to make sure they post, because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah.
Just to give that out.
That should be another topic of like people not tagging when you give them free stuff. It's so disrespectful.
So make people sign it, make people agree to it so they have some liability, because everybody loves free shit and we are all busy. But, if someone's agreeing to it, make sure they do it. Yeah. But I think TikTok, posting as much as you can, sharing as much as you can is a really important tactic. People want to feel like they're involved. People want to feel like there's a meaning behind what they're buying, because some of the most hideous brands sell millions of dollars because they have good marketing, and I think that makes a really big difference.
People love seeing the process as well.
Yep. People want to feel like they can do what you're doing, honestly, to put it in perspective.
I agree though. Every time I give a package to, an influencer that really stands with like the vibe of my brand, I get orders from their specific like state, like whether it be New York or Georgia or Miami. I'm like, I can tell this one worked because I'm getting those sales.
You can also offer a discount code to people. Like, I just think influencers are really helpful because people look up to them. People
they want to
aspire to be them, wear what they're wearing. Yeah. So if you can find good ones, you don't even need to pay people sometimes. If people like your stuff,
I never do.
Yeah, they will take it as a gift. Like, I have brands that I really like that they'll send to me and I'm like, perfect, I love this, I'll post it, no issue. So I think that's a really good tactic. And most times almost every influencer will respond to you. Let's see. Someone said, how'd you finance it? But we kind of responded. How did you build up a buffer for the first buys for your company?
What's a buffer?
I'm not sure.
The first buys, like, maybe like traction.
Yeah, I think it's just social media again.
Posting it. Yeah, never feel bad about posting your brand. And
if anybody in your life ever gives you shit about what you're posting, makes fun of you, they are not meant to be in your life.
Yeah.
Because,
hater.
the more that you do that shit, the more people will have stuff to say. I literally have 3 friends. This is one of them. Like, most people aren't going to be able to do what you're doing, won't understand it, and will put you down because they can't do it.
And you'll see who your real friends are when you're dropping stuff, when you're posting your stuff.
Of course.
Your friends should always be commenting, rocking your stuff.
Following, all of it. Yeah. Right? Like, it's... I'm like...
A lot of them will fall off.
Yeah. And that shows value. Like, that shows a lot about someone. It's really about the quality, not the quantity of people. I'm super lonely and I love it.
You're not lonely.
I know. Okay. Someone said, how should you scale your brand? My biggest thing, I think if you want to scale your brand, you need a team. Yeah, you need a team. You cannot do, this is where I really screw up. I try to do everything on my own, and it is my biggest downfall. Like, you need people to work for you. I don't care whether it's your best friend that you're paying $10 an hour, right? Like, just people there to help you do things. Because if you want a big brand, a lot goes into it. Like, in perspective, when you're having a brand, all the things I do alone, I respond to emails every day. Sometimes I get 10 emails. Sometimes I get 100 emails, right? DMs if they're on, Shopify inbox if they're on, every form of whatever. And people want to be responded to within the first 10 minutes of sending their email, right? And then you have to ship it out, figure out the shipping, where to drop it off, if it can be picked up. Then you have to get the product made, figure that out, figure out the process, shoot the product, get the sample, come up with the design, make the website. It's just a lot. If you can compartmentalize those things and like give it off to other people so you can focus on the actual design perspective, I think it makes things much easier
and funner.
Yeah, even if you start off with, you know, hiring your friends to package orders for you. I think packaging orders, at first you love it, but the more you do, the less you love it. So things like that, or paying someone else to do customer service. Yeah. The customer service end of things, I think as the owner, someone else should take care of, because I think it adds a layer of stress because you're seeing people be upset in a way. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But I'm not trying to make it seem like...
Yeah. No, I know. It's just kind of hard to deal with everything all at once. And then while you're trying to focus on designs and making sure your stuff is ready, you know, sometimes...
people get upset.
Yeah, and it's not... You know, you don't have time to be answering to all those emails, and then it may stress you out, and...
Then it makes you not want to do it. It actually makes me cry. Literally. Because I just get super overstimulated with it, and I'm trying to keep up with everything all the time. So I'm like...
Be nice to Coco, you guys. You guys are so mean.
I wish that was a joke, but people are actually crazy. I get, like, death threats, crazy stuff. People message my mom. That's why I'm taking a break from having a brand, because... I think I just do not enjoy it anymore. It's just like not fun. My personal life, because I chose to build the brand off me having a platform, I don't enjoy sharing anything anymore because, you know, for example, like I went through an issue with one of my manufacturers where a bunch of people didn't get their order. And then I had people open chargebacks. And let's say I posted that I got into a bike accident. People are like, it's because you did this. I'm like,
that's not nice, you guys.
Yeah. I understand this frustration, but also at the end of the day,
we're all human, we're all people.
We're all figuring it out.
Have sympathy.
And learning. What's something you wish you knew before starting a business? How much work it was?
Just, the amount of dedication that it takes and just to never give up.
And most things don't happen overnight.
Oh, yeah, no.
It really, really takes a good amount of time. Some people can do it in a year. Some people can do it in 6 months. Like, it's different for everyone. And I think you cannot compare yourself to what you see. I think that's one of
that
the
makes
hardest
it worse.
things.
That makes you so unfocused just looking at the people around you.
Because so many people are doing it so differently, or they have help, or they have more money, or something that you don't know.
So you can't compare yourself.
Yeah, then it's like upsetting that you're not there. I think that's one of
just takes time. Like your seeds will sprout over time. Just try to meet good people, like-minded people, and everything will be great.
Someone said, how much should I spend on samples? I think it depends where you get it from, what the quality is, and the turnaround time. I think,
and what the product is.
If you're doing a print thing, this should cost you like $50 at most, I feel like, just for a single print. If you're getting a cut and sew, all those kind of things, that's definitely going to be more expensive. But definitely shop around for a sample. You'll need a tech pack, a mock-up, all that stuff. But definitely different places give different prices. Biggest mistake you made?
I feel like sometimes I don't like doing made to order, which I don't think you've done either, right? Like
pre-order.
Yeah. Have you?
I only do pre-order.
Oh, really? Okay, so I don't like doing pre-order. I just like having all my stuff. I don't
like it either. No.
Yeah, because I feel like, that's also something that people have to learn from is just like,
it's trash. As somebody who's done pre-order,
you have less complaints when it's not pre-order.
The amount of issues you run into, because in perspective, shit's gonna get messed up. Like you do pre-order and then stuff gets stuck in customs. I can't control that. That adds another week, 2 weeks, who knows, right? Or sometimes in customs, they'll take it. Stuff like that. Like pre-order is hard, but also pre-order is the best option if you do not have money to start it.
I agree.
Right, like
just make 10, make 20, make as much.
Start small.
Yeah,
you don't have to go big. My Hug Your Homie hoodies aren't pre-order. I have them in my house, and I hate it because it takes up my house. So there is a balance, but I think when you're starting a brand, sometimes pre-order is best if you only have the $100 to spend.
Yeah, one of my mistakes was probably just like making too many. Just because I didn't want to do pre-order. But the thing is, when you do cut and sew, they do charge you less based on how many you make. Yes. So if you just make 50, they're going to charge you a lot more than if you're making 200. So
yeah, I think that does make a difference and it matters, but do it at your own pace. You don't need, but I will say with pre-order, make sure you communicate to a T, because if you say 2 to 4 weeks and it's 4 weeks in one day, you best believe people will be like, hey, where is it? You're scamming me, da-da-da. Like, you have to do
pre-order.
Yeah, you have to over-communicate, right? Like, I think from this point forward, I'll never do a pre-order ever again. I can't do it unless I'm having someone else manage all of it for me. And they deal with it. Okay, the best choice you've made.
Best choice I made is just like staying strong and like creating with new people and just trying to find my style and my image for my brand. Just keep creating with new people until you find your vibe, and then you will get the hang of it after a couple. Because when you really put out something that you like with people that you like, the photos turn out great, like you're gonna feel really good about yourself.
For me, it would be I would say just keep creating and starting new brands, even when I'm deep down. And I feel like I'm a really creative person, and I'm surprised it doesn't knock me off my feet. Honestly, I'll definitely cry about it, but I think just keep having stimulating ideas, keep going, keep moving forward. If you want to make something new, make something new. I think that's probably one of the best things, because once again, if you keep failing, one of them's got to succeed.
Yeah.
So, someone said, how do you deal with not knowing what will work? It's all just like
taking a chance.
Taking
I don't know.
A risk.
You just have to be confident. Also.
If you believe in it and you really post it, I feel like one of the things for me is I never wear my Hug Your Homie hoodies ever because I don't love them. And other people are like, well, you wear everything else you make, but you don't wear this.
Yeah.
And I think it shows to people. When you really love something you're doing and you make, I think it makes a really big difference.
Yeah. If you really, really love it, people are going to feel it.
Yeah. Some of these questions are cute. Someone's like, nah, babe, let's talk about your bike.
Bike talk.
How'd you go about start? I feel like the number one question is how to start it. And it's really just find something you like, go on Alibaba, get a sample, and go from there. It's not as hard as it seems. Also, I feel like if you guys ever have questions, I keep my DMs off right now because mentally I'm dying inside. And I just cannot handle it at the moment. But if they're ever open, you guys can always ask me questions. I'm always happy to help because I would love if someone helped me through these things. I didn't have to figure it out. So feel free to always ask me. Does the Illuminati scare you? I don't know. I don't leave my house much. That's kind of scary to think about. I don't even really know if it's true or real.
My brand is called No Ties. That's another ick of mine. Like, my brand's name on Instagram is noties.shop. And then people would just call it No Tees. And I'm like,
No way, really?
Yeah.
Like, talk about how you found your brand name.
Okay, so.
Because I'm struggling with this right now.
I know, mine was kind of weird. I think I was honestly just talking to my friend at the time that was going through like a really toxic relationship. And I was like, just have no ties. It's just really about... It's random. It'll fit you perfectly. And then I feel like if it works, it works. I feel like people get too stuck on like, oh, I'm trying to have like the most aesthetic like brand name.
The name will come later.
Yeah, I feel like just work on the pieces and like something in your life will definitely inspire you to be like,
also,
okay,
it can change too.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say that, and some people are like, no, I literally went from Hug Your Homie to Coco Blake to Thanks Cowboy from a Western Fantasy to Thanks Cowboy.
I like that. Western Fantasy?
Yeah, cute, right? To Bratty Boy. And it literally just all depended on my mood, what I liked in the moment, what worked, right?
You can evolve.
It can change, yeah.
See, that's the same thing with No Ties. Like, it's about no labels. You know, you can always reinvent yourself. Like, just keep going.
Slay. Yeah, evolving. That girl that I met last night, sorry, drama tea. It was like, I had so much fun hanging out with you.
Not drama tea, and it's just something nice.
I know. No, it is. It's cute. It's just her being sweet. We've known about each other for a really long time. Wait, how did I hear about you? Oh, that Cassie, or was it Jackie?
It might have been Jackie. I don't know. I'm
gonna blur out all these names.
You were just popping at the time.
I know.
You still are popping.
But no, but it was like,
you know,
I just shaved my head.
Yeah.
That was like my era of shooting a lot. I don't know, but people did not.
Like, she's so cool. I need
Who did
her
I
in my
meet
brand.
you through? But I feel like I shot with you, and then somebody, maybe it was Jackie or Casey or something.
Jackie. Who the hell is Casey?
I don't know. I think I know Casey through Jackie. But Jackie said you were like a bitch or rude or something. And I thought at first I didn't even know you well enough to know, but I thought you were so pretty when I first met you. I was like, wow. And then how did this happen? How did we just become friends? It was when I moved back to LA, yeah?
Yeah, because we didn't really talk that much after you moved, honestly, but we always like stayed.
We like followed each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I moved, not the self-tanner. I feel like I moved back and was like, let's hang out. And then we hung out and we're really similar.
I saw you at a pop-up, remember?
Oh,
and then
yeah.
I was like, let me give you something. And then you were like, I just moved back. And I was just so excited that you moved back.
Yeah, we're really the same person, actually.
Yeah, the way we curse at people in the car is literally
and like
the same.
Fun fact that people may not know, she's so funny, and I literally sometimes can't even believe it.
We went on a trip together, and she was literally like bawling her eyes out. Crying
I looked at her and
laughter.
I was like, "Wait, you're so funny! I didn't even know you were this funny." Both of us are like very monotone. Like if we don't like something, we're like, "No." Hate that. Get out of my face.
And
Don't
the
talk to me.
facial expressions are crazy.
Too.
You'll just be laughing at my facial expressions.
There is this thing I was just talking about it called the art of being disliked. Don't care. And I think it's so fire. I think both of us are really good about not tolerating shit, not caring what people think, and we just like get up and continue on. And as much as that makes us sound like a bitch, I think it's one of the best qualities to have.
We're just strong people.
I think we just, we know what we want. We know how we're going to get there. We're both very independent people. And we do not like our time wasted.
No.
And we just know our value. And I think that's something a lot of women forget.
Yeah.
And are talked down to or called bitchy and rude and whatever. If someone calls you a bitch, it's probably just because you know what you want.
Yeah, and they're insecure. Stand on business.
Yeah, and it should never, ever change. Literally, both of us, I feel like we do really well and we're good at what we do and we're good people. But I think both of us, people would call me a bitch. I don't know if people would call you a bitch.
People more so call me like...
I think you're just like standoffish.
What's the other word? Like... intimidating.
Yeah, slight me too.
But I'm mostly just quiet. Like, I'm quiet around people that I don't really know.
Yeah, you just observe.
Yeah, I observe and I listen.
Yeah, she takes it in. I talk. I'm a yapper, but she's an observer. So she just pays attention to the things that I feel like I miss. And then she's like, And then once she brings it up to me, I'm like,
you're like, oh.
T. Got it. Okay.
Noted.
I love you all. Thank you so much for watching. I'll probably start doing these once a month. I don't know how you edit this, so bear with me. But hopefully I'll have more guests and just start talking about it. Maybe I'll bring this baddie back at some point. Also, we made a group TikTok called Chanel Addicts. I'll insert it now because we're going to do little fit videos and stuff because she dresses cute and I dress cute and we could be your new style inspo. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like and all the good juicy stuff. And I love you.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye.